Okay, so you're feeling isolated at work. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, well, it's just the nature of the business right now. The project I'm working on is something that I was involved in getting started initially, and I was working, like I said, with a team of other folks who were developing the thing. Now it's gotten to the point where it's a mature product, but there are always customer requests to tweak this and that feature. And because I've been involved with it the longest, I'm the guy that they go to say, hey, can you take care of this and that piece? So, and there are enough of these things coming in that it keeps me busy because, I got to implement the feature, test it to make sure it works correctly. I talk to folks on the phone a lot, but that's not the same as talking to somebody in person.
Yeah. So you're missing
and
that
it's-
human interaction, it sounds like. Okay.
Yeah, and on the phone, it's usually, okay, this revision's been made, it does this and that, do you need anything else? Okay, bye. And that's, there's not even, seems like there's not even an opportunity to say, so where are you? Where do you live? Do you have a family? There's none of that.
Okay, so no intimacy, it sounds like. And
Yeah.
So then you reach out. So this is maybe a new development,
And
and
it's-
you've been reaching out to your wife.
Yeah, and
to fill that.
but like I said, it's, this has kind of developed over the last couple of years at work, and I feel with Kelly being so busy with all of her stuff, partly I feel like I'm losing that ability to communicate on the same level that we used to.
Interesting.
And
So when you can't feel like you can't communicate. I mean, when you're feeling like you can't communicate.
it's frustrating.
Yeah. So what
It's
goes on?
frust-
Tell me more about that frustration. What happens inside of you?
Well, I get angry with myself for not being able to do a better job of communicating.
Okay.
Maybe that comes out in some way that is, makes her feel a certain way. I don't know.
Yeah. So when you get frustrated and angry, when you can't communicate, what then happens? What do you do? Do you try harder to try to get it out and communicate, or do you just give up? What do you feel like happens?
I try a little bit, but it seems there comes a point where if I try any harder, something's going to break. Something's going to happen. I'm going to lose my temper. I'm going to shout. I'm going to, So
you wanna
I try some, but I just at a certain point I have to say I can't do any more of this right now.
Yeah.
And
That makes
that's
sense
the
to you?
shutting down I'm telling you about.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I have to be honest, I've only seen you lose your temper probably 3 times. And it was always in defense of your family. It was never toward your family. So, I mean, I don't know if you know that. But the 3 times that
Yeah.
I saw you become really, really assertive and aggressive
Yeah.
were like times when we have been together as a family and someone, tried to harm one of our
Mhm.
children,
I
or,
know what you're thinking of,
Halloween
yeah.
when the car pulled out and one of the
Mhm.
kids almost got hit by the car.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
it's like, oh my God. So to hear you say that you would actually feel that way towards me is very painful, because it's never been directed internally towards the family. It's always been. So that tells me that
But it's
it has escalated to a pretty serious point if you are concerned that the next emotion is going to be.
But it's anger at myself for not being able to communicate. It's anger with myself for being frustrated.
Okay.
It's
Which is still an emotion that we have to deal
Yeah.
with. I'm just pleased to know it's not towards
So-
the family.
no, it's not.
So you're
It's not.
internalizing that when you feel that, and you're trying
Yeah.
not to let it get
I'm
out.
trying not to act it out in some way that might be misinterpreted as
Yeah.
being anger towards Kelly or the kids.
Yeah. And you just try to push it down and maybe try to keep
Mhm.
quiet or not let anything out, and then that's
No,
what-
he's definitely quiet. He
Yeah.
definitely shuts
Yeah.
down.
Okay.
I mean, and obviously I have to own part of that. I told you, the pushing, I mean, I can feel it when it's happening. Like when I'm starting to do it, I can just feel it rising up in me. I'm like, here it comes.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize
Well,
what you were going
I-
through. You know, I just think
Okay,
you're the
we're-
same guy I married, you know? And you are. I just thought
Yeah. Well,
you were still dealing with everything the same way you always have.
we're being honest here, and I think that if I'm not answering you or responding to you, I wish you would just back off a little bit. Just let me
Okay.
get around to it myself, because it's an ability that I feel like I've got to reacquire somehow. And being pushed to say, hey, talk to me, talk to me, talk to me.
Mhm.
That's not the way to do it.
Do you have an example, like maybe a recent fight that has happened that we can maybe kind of process through and kind of go over how we can maybe look at it differently, or how like you wish this little aspect of it could be differently, so we could actually have a concrete example and something you guys could refer to? Maybe both of you could kind of think of, if you think of an example you guys.
Well, how about the soccer game, the soccer tournament? And I kept asking you about going and sitting with the other families, and we talked a little bit about making a weekend of it and taking Ruby, and I just kind of like, I remember it. It was almost like machine gun. Are you going? Can you go? Confirm this, because I'm trying to get my schedule down. Da, da, da. And you were like, whoa, you talk to me just like you do in your business. You treat the
Mhm.
relationship like you do your business, but we're in a relationship. This is not business. This is probably the thing I need to work the most on, is stepping out of being an accountant and bossing people around and expecting things right away, and dialing it back and saying this is personal.
Yeah, that's really important that you can recognize that in yourself. Yeah.
Well, I've had it pointed out to me recently.
Okay.
It's a good thing. I have
Yeah.
some wonderful friends. So it takes a really good friend to be able to have that hard conversation with you.
That's good, yeah,
So-
absolutely. So you had something going on the weekend that you wanted to get on the same page, and you
Mhm.
kept trying to find out the answer to that.
Mm.
So do you remember this event?
Yes.
Okay, so you remember her kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what did that feel like
Sure.
to you when that was happening?
Pressure,
Okay.
and, pressure to respond, to perform, to fall in line.
Mm.
It didn't sound like it was going to be fun.
Okay.
It sounded like it was going to be, I don't know, going to a conference or something, or some other project,
Ah, like work.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Neat. I thought about that. Yeah, that's your
So-
weekend.
I'm sure that's not what you wanted.
Yeah, that's your
Okay.
weekend too, though. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of hard to hear him say that.
Yeah.
It's.
And you weren't
Soccer
trying to make it
tournament.
like
Yeah, I mean,
that.
I'm thinking his values should be the same as mine. It's our son. It's a soccer tournament, but
Well,
but
sure.
it's different.
But
Right.
when you treat it like it's an extension of your job.
Wow. Wow. This is so messed up. Wow.
So,
Mm.
So what's going on with
Yeah.
you?
I think this is really
I-
painful.
Yeah.
I know you're.
Yeah.
I know you're trying hard to become partner
Yeah.
in the business, and
But I want
Uh,
to be a partner in our
yes.
business too. That's number one.
good, good.
Is our partnership.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I got a little work to do.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need tools.
Yeah.
I hope you have them.
Yeah. Well, I think you guys.
No pressure.
I actually think it's within yourself already. We just gotta kind of find that and pull it out of you. It's not gonna be me changing your guys' relationship or your situation. It's just helping you find that you can do this within yourselves and showing you that it's already there.
I hope that we haven't evolved or changed to the point where we can't go back to
Mhm.
that kind of closeness and intimacy and
Mhm.
communication that we used to have. I really hope it's possible.
Yeah.
And we gotta work on it, but I guess we gotta figure out how to